Welcome everyone to the beginning of another beautiful challenge where today we will see if we can beat Paper Mario 64 without using Mario. That's right, we will play Paper Mario using only his partners. The challenge rules will be as outlined. Number 1, Mario cannot cause any damage himself, which means he can't jump, hammer, or use badges that will cause passive damage like Zap Tap. He also will not be able to use any damaging items or star spirits. And he cannot begin a battle by causing the first strike. If that happens, I have to reset. Number 2, healing items are allowed for Chapter 1. That is because if I don't use healing items, I'm just going to have to grind Mario's health value up really high, which just sounds boring. And I will skip the partner's turn if Mario uses any items. And after Chapter 1, the only legal item will be Life Shrooms, as they are passive and only activate upon Mario's death. Number 3, Star Spirits will be allowed. The only Star Spirit that is not allowed is, what's his name? I don't know, the one with the glasses, the one that does Star Storm, 7 damage to everyone on the screen. That is the only one I'm banning. All the other ones are legal and able to be used. If I use a Star Spirit, I have to skip the partner's turn. And number 4, switching partners will count as a turn. So if I have to switch mid-battle, then I lose that turn completely until I get the Quick Change badge. That will allow me to switch partners while maintaining my turn. And finally, while not really being a rule, just kind of a guideline to myself, I will try to use as minimal badges as possible. I try to use only Peekaboo so we can see health values, but if I run into any issues, then I will put on danger dodge? What's it? Close call, damage dodge, and something like physical down, defense up. Oh, yeah, it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. I mean, Mario can't do damage, and I'm not going to use a lot of badges. That's pretty much it. The partners are the show. It's Paper Partners. And with that out of the way, why don't we start the run? Another beautiful day in the Mushroom Kingdom. And what's this? We've got an invitation to Princess Peach's castle to indulge in an absolutely dogshit cake. Let's go! After talking to some of the lively guests in the castle, we meet up with Princess Peach herself. Here, she tries to push herself onto us, but Mario is the king of celibacy and declines. Just as this goes on, something happens. The castle raises into the sky, leaving us the question, what is hell? It's King Browser, once again disturbing the peace of the Mushroom Kingdom. Well, it's time to put him in his place. We start the fight by jumping on Bowser, causing 1 damage. And, there you have it. There's the run. The answer, no, you can't beat it without using Mario, because you have to use Mario here, because even though Peach is right there, she's not doing anything. Like, you see her just not fucking doing anything? I guess Peach is just too good for fighting unless it's in a movie. Meaning Mario is gonna have to do damage here. Okay, well, ignoring this fight, and another one coming up, we fight with Bowser and, let gasp! He uses the Star Rod he stole from Kirby to make himself invincible, making it impossible to damage him. Thus, Mario is savagely beaten by Bowser and thrown from the castle in the name of the European Union. Mario falls from the stratosphere where he lands in a forest. The fall was so catastrophic because, he fell from space that he is nearly crippled. If Mario doesn't get any rest, he may forever lose his ability to fight. The Star Spirits come to Mario and heal him just enough to not die, and he's taken to a nearby Goomba village to rest. After speaking to the local, very woke Goombas, we fall off of the back veranda and have to help the Goomba Grandpa make his way back home. Unfortunately, there's a block in the way, so we have to find a hammer to clear the way. We head to an open area to find it, we acquire the hammer and head back to the block, only to be stopped by Junior Troopa. He's pissed that we've invaded his playground. Unfortunately, we have another fight and another partner who won't pull their weight, so Mario gets his legs threatened by Junior Troopa, which he might deliver on. We do this fight as normal, and now our legs are broken. From here on out, Mario will be unable to battle from now on, thanks to this literal child. From here, the challenge really begins. We head on back to the village, avoiding every battle along the way, because I don't have a partner yet. And recruit Goombario. I have a partner now! And we head off into the unknown with Goombario as our first partner. We can only attack with him, and we don't have action commands yet, which really sucks. So we can only do 1 damage, and Mario can't block attacks. So from here, it's just a numbers game for a little while. Our first real battle is against Blue and Red Goomba. This fight without items would only be possible if we grinded our health up to like 20 or something. So instead of grinding here, I went ahead and used 3 mushrooms and skipped my partner's turn after using them. We win, and from here, we go on to fight the Goomba King, which is a pretty easy fight. We use Goombario to hit the tree. This takes out both the red and blue Goombas before they get a chance to lay any damage on us, and we put some hurting on the Goomba King in the process. Without the action commands, again, it's just your average JRPG battle, taking turns hurting each other until we inevitably win the fight, clearing the prologue. After a little scene of Bowser being shown turtles naked for the first time, we get to travel back to Toad Town, where we can head off to our new destination, Star Haven. Here we meet with the Star Spirits holograms, where they tell us we need to stop Bowser and free them from their captors. We cut to Peach contemplating Mario bleeding, where she meets with Twink, a star child, who's come to answer Peach's wish. Peach gives Twink probably the most important item in the game. Like, why didn't you give that to us, Peach? You were there. You were right there when we were fighting Bowser. Why did you keep that from us? We gain control of Mario and head out of Star Haven, where we run into Twink, and he gives us the item to use action commands, which it honestly seems like it takes a very long time to get this in retrospect, but anyway. Immediately after, we run into a magical penis and get to use our newly found action commands to utterly sweep this trash. From here, the game really opens up and we can actually do stuff. So we progress as usual and head straight to the Koopa village, and we ignore everyone in trouble along the way, heading straight to Kooper's house. A Fuzzy has his shell and we have to chase him and get the shell. Like a bad bitch, we get it with no problems, and Kooper joins the party. And unfortunately, I don't think he ever gets much use in this run, except in maybe like one chapter. His inability to hit anything airborne really makes him tough to use for this run, but no time for that. The Fuzzies jump us, and we get to use Kooper for probably the one fight he'll be useful for, until we get the real star of the show. We use Kooper's power shell to damage all the Fuzzies and then eliminate them one by one, and head on over to Koopa Brothers Fortress, making sure to pick up this HP Plus on the way and equip it. And as we enter, we find that Kooper is pretty useless due to all the Koopas we have to fight, and his inability to knock them on their backs. So we switch back to Goombario and have him stunlock every Koopa we run into, and we just take every Bob-omb explosion, since we won't be able to do enough damage to just kill them. I underestimate the challenge pretty quickly, and after taking some damage fighting the Koopas and Bob-ombs that hold a key, I go straight into a fight with a Koopa and 3 Bob-ombs, and I just die here, due to all the Bob-omb explosions and my utter inability to block them. Learning from my mistake, I start over, get our first key, and recover my FP before going into battle. Here, I tank all 3 Bob-ombs and eliminate the Koopa, which gives us access to the lower part of the dungeon, which I am not ready for yet, so I head back to Koopa Village, where I sell all my useless items and buy 4 delicious fungus to use in between battles to survive the room with 3 Koopas. It was much easier than I thought to take them all out and grab the key from here. We hit the trap door and meet one of the best Paper Mario partners ever, Bombette. Her ability to explode is going to be critical for most of the game, and from here, Kooper only grows more useless. Using a combination of Goombario and Bombette, we easily take on this dungeon and all of its challenges, taking us right outside the boss fight for Chapter 1. The only thing in our way is some bullet bills and some cannons. It's a good thing I'm an absolute unit and dodge every bullet on the way, and I get a first strike with Bombette against the cannons, and she erases them from existence. Which brings us to our very first true boss fight, Evil God King Bowser. My bad planning gets the best of me, and I go straight for blowing him up, using up all my FP, and it's not Bowser, it's the Koopa Brothers! So this part of the fight is weird, because you have to like knock them over to do any damage, and to do that you usually have to hit them with Mario and the partner to knock them over. But without Mario attacking, we're kind of screwed. Enter the partner queen Bombette. Her bomb ability is the only thing that will knock them over in one turn, and I already mess up because I heal right after using Bombette to knock them over and forego the next turn completely. Needless to say, I did not win this fight, but I've gained valuable intel for the next go around. This time, I don't waste my FP on the first part of the fight and just hit with regular attacks from Kooper, and I heal right before we finish him off and switch to Bombette before going up against the brothers. We bomb the brothers' stack immediately and send Green Koopa to the Shadow Realm, leaving 3 more to go. Bomb the stack again and am unable to take out Yellow Koopa since I'm using all my FP to knock them over in the first place. Here, the maple syrup I have in my inventory comes in clutch for me to finish off Yellow. 2 left. I knock them over again and show Black Koopa the meaning of pain. Leaving just 1 Koopa left and no more tower to knock over, Bombette does what she does best and erases an entire boss from existence, clearing our first chapter and gaining our first Star Spirit, which grants us the ability Refresh, which heals 5 HP and 5 FP, and this comes in handy for the entire run. And after this boss, I kind of realized that healing in battle trivializes a lot of the fights, so from here on out, the only items ever used in battle are life shrooms, and I just sell everything else in the shop. Princess Peach is a fan of this idea. On our way back to Toad Town, Junior Troopa shows up, and we do what we do best. And we move on. I take a little detour into the sewers to fight an optional blooper, and I fucking die. So I left, and then we start Chapter 2 by heading into the desert. Not really much to talk about here. Bombette blows stuff up, and we get this nerd to join our party. I attempt another optional boss, the Buzzard. Our only real option here, aerial-wise, is Paracarry, since his shell shot does so much damage. This fight was actually pretty close, and the only reason I was able to win was because of Refresh. I used it once, which gave me just enough health and FP to win the fight. We level up our HP and remove the HP Plus badge and head into the desert. Grab the stone from the weird mouse guy, and we go grab our first power-up from the oasis just south of town. Chat chooses to give it to Goombario, turning him into the little nuke. And we head straight to the second dungeon of the game. Since I didn't upgrade Bombette yet, we do get a bit of use from Cooper fighting the Pokies. I make use of the heal block outside and run back and forth often while clearing the dungeon. We grab the upgraded hammer and make our way to the next upgrade block and give the power-up to the MVP, Bombette, who can now explode everything on the ground, which really trivializes every battle in this dungeon, up until Tootin' Koopa. Oh boy, this fight gave me more trouble than it should have. While this place was easy to get through, not upgrading Paracarry really hurt me in the boss fight, since no one else can really hit him. My strategy here was simple. Charge Goombario until he can one-shot Tootin' Koopa. The problem? He uses this attack, which hits both Mario and the partner. And while I can reliably dodge for Mario, I can't for the life of me dodge for the partner, as I've never even tried that before. So this fight ends up hinging on me being able to block the rock that falls on our partner, otherwise I lose 2 turns. I also have to survive the Chain Chomp he summons, since I can't waste Goombario's charge killing it, as he will always respawn it. So I die, and I die, and I die, but I learned the pattern he has. Tootin' Koopa will always summon Chomp on the second turn, and use the rock attack on the third, and the next time he uses the rock spell, it hits him instead of us. So I need to get enough charges with Goombario and block the rocks to kill Tootin' Koopa before he can kill me. But the problem here is that I won't be able to kill the Chain Chomp afterwards, and then it hit me. So I mean, actually wait! Hold on! We don't know what happens if he dies yet! Maybe the fight ends. Oh shit! It's almost done. I thought you had to kill the chomp! Yeah, after all those deaths and contemplation, all I really had to do was focus down Tootin' Koopa to win. Live and learn, I guess. But with that, we free the second Star Spirit, learning Lullaby, and completing Chapter 2. Cut to Princess Peach learning of the invincible Tuba Blooba, and then back to us, where I finally remember to go get the Peekaboo badge, so we can see enemy health bars. I also teach Dizzy Shell to Cooper, thinking it might come in handy at some point, and then straight through the Forever Forest. I don't think Dizzy Shell ever came in handy. I avoid the enemies to get straight to the mansion. There are no battles here, so it's pretty straightforward. We get to the top, recruit Lady Bo, who is personally my favorite partner. Unfortunately, this challenge makes her useless, since anyone with defense just cancels out her damage, and her out-of-sight ability uses her entire turn on the next turn, easily making her nearly obsolete for most future fights. Another thing of note here is the shop in the basement. For the foreseeable future, I'll be heading here to buy life shrooms, since this is currently the only place I can get them. Through Gusty Gulch and into Tubbs Blub's castle, I avoid virtually every fight here. We find an upgrade block and Chat decides to give it to Lady Bo. Yay! So, I oblige, of course. We clear the castle and escape to the well, where we get to our next hurdle, Tubba's Heart. I make a huge mistake going into this fight, because I have Lady Bo out as our party member. Tubba's Heart boasts 50 HP and can hit us with a devastating attack for around 12 damage. So, 2 of these and we're dead. Easy. Typically you're supposed to use out of sight, but because it loses Bo's next turn on the next turn, he just spams it every time I use out of sight, and he hits me no matter what. So, well, it doesn't work well. So even his basic attack is a 6 damage attack. This guy is a powerhouse, and he can easily decimate my health values before I even get him to half health. So I die and I reevaluate my situation. I haven't been upgrading my BP to avoid using too many badges, so I still have the base 3 BP. I decide to go do one more level up since I'm super close anyway. And I upgrade my health so I'm able to withstand at least one extra turn of damage, and I head back to the mansion to buy 3 life streams for 50 coins. It has a lot of sex. We head back to the heart and decide it's time to launch a tactical nuke. I try my best to tank a ton of hits while charging Goombario to his peak destructive ability. It takes all 3 life streams to charge our little spirit bomb. And we now have to go straight into the Tubba fight with only 5 HP and a dream. I put Bombette in the party and I hope for the best. I start right off by bombing him, which takes 6 of his 10 HP, and he hits me with an attack that I don't block, and it puts me at exactly 1 health. Here I'm able to eke out a victory. That was close. And we're rewarded with our 3rd star spirit who grants us Star Storm, which I can't use. But at least we have 3 bars of star energy, which helps greatly. And now we close chapter 3. Back to Peach, and we have to answer some questions from Bowser to choose if the next chapter has either easy or difficult fights in front of key items. For this part, I decided to flip a coin 3 times, and I lost every single coin toss, so I got all the hardest fights. Yay! Before we exit the Forever Forest, I have to fight Junior Troopa again, and I totally forgot this fight even existed. So we started with Goombario, and our little nuke is not enough to outpace Junior's damage. So I head back to the mansion after a loss, and grab some more life shrooms, and I remove Peekaboo in favor of damage dodge, to be able to last longer in future battles. I'm able to charge my nuke and defeat Junior, only costing me 1 life stream in the process. Once back in Toad Town, we find the Shame Boys have taken over, so we head into the toy box starting Chapter 4. I fight the Clubba guarding the chest, which is easily won with the MVP Bombette. For the train to the toy box. I fight through the regular enemies with relative ease, and the next chest, we fight the Armored Koopas, which present a new problem. You see, sometimes they summon more soldiers in a battle, and the first time I fight them, I kill one and they proceed to fill the battlefield with more! Meaning I'm gonna have to kill them all at once instead of one at a time. And Bomb is the only move I have right now that does any significant damage here. So I take this fat L and I go back and I lose again. Then I go in without first striking so I can kill them at the same time, like I said I was gonna do. I manage to kill 2 at the same time and I get really lucky since the last remaining soldier does not summon anymore, meaning I can take this dub and head home. So I grab the glossary and I cheat, having chat tell me the sequence to fix the tracks cause, you know, fuck all that backtracking. And here we get to probably one of the most difficult fights of the run, the Lantern Ghost. So normally the Lantern Ghost isn't so bad, but his gimmick is that you have to hit his lantern enough to light up the area so then you can target him and hit him. Unfortunately, only one of our partners can hit the lantern enough, and it's Lady Bo. And to make it even worse, he has an attack where he shines his lantern and it hits Mario and the partner if left unblocked. The partner will lose 2 turns, and he does this almost every time before the partner gets the next hit off. So, if I light up the lantern on the next turn, I have to block for the partner. Otherwise, by the time the partner gets back up, he'll blow out the lantern, and I won't be able to do any damage to him while he had 2 turns of damage on me. Oh my god, did I have to do this fight a lot. I had to learn the timing because it's so close to Mario's block that if you're just a bit early, Mario blocks. If you're a bit late, you'll miss the block for the partner. It's a very, very thin window to get this block down. And also, if you're wondering why the fight is so dark, it's because the emulator I'm using won't emulate the light sphere that's supposed to be here. Sorry. Anyway, I lose this fight a lot, and I just can't get the timing right, so I decided to go do some side quests to clear my mind a bit. On the way out, I upgrade Paracarry with the block I was saving for Watt once we get her, and I head in the sewers and get locked in a room with Dark Koopas that can inflict dizzy on Mario. And these guys are also a nasty fight. I decided since they make Mario dizzy and they are blockable attacks, I will take the turns away from the partner too. So then they proceed to loop me in a state of dizzy, because once you're dizzy, you can't block anymore. And they whittle down my health, so I give up on going here for now too. So I head to where the big blooper is and I fight him. And I win! Yay! Finally able to get a victory against something, I choose to upgrade my BP, getting it up to 9 BP now. So I equip Close Call to better my odds of lasting even a teeny bit longer, and I go back to our pal Lantern Ghost. I proceed to do this fight for a lot longer than I am willing to admit, but with Lady Bo and a lot of resets, I get some favorable RNG where he doesn't do his shine attack and I can actually hit him. And it happens. I'm finally able to get some dodges on the attack. The fact that it's pitch black in this fight is not helping, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. He chooses to do his butt attack more than the shine, which basically gives me free hits against him, and the battle goes on for a while. I'm able to block the light, smack him, he blows out the light, I have to hit him again, rinse and repeat until... Oh, yes! A jump! Fuck me, man!
We fucking...
We finally won, at the cost of one life shroom. And here we recruit Watt to our team, who is honestly the linchpin of this challenge, since Watt's basic attack ignores enemy defense. She's absolutely essential to most fights involving defense. I head straight to the sewer to get an upgrade block for Watt, teaching her a move that will be useless to us, but makes her base attack stronger, which will be great for us. Then I head straight into the Shy Guy Brigade fight. I lose to the Shy Guys a couple of times, but this is nowhere near as tough as the Lantern Ghost. Just tedious. I just needed to learn how the waves start out, and once I figure out getting past them without draining all my FP, I get to Lieutenant Guy. And with some bombs, a little Watt, one life shroom, and a lot of luck, we managed to win against Admiral Guy and free the Star Spirit, clearing Chapter 4. After a warm greeting from Peach and baking an absolute dogshit cake, we get the info to get us to Lava Lava Island without wasting any time. We go straight into Chapter 5, which is going to be the easiest chapter I probably deal with this whole run. I also make sure to pick up a badge I've been neglecting to get for a while, that being the Quick Change badge. For those unaware, this badge allows me to change partners without expending a turn, which is just a huge quality of life improvement for this run. Then it's off to Lava Lava Island. Not much happens between the start of the chapter and getting Sushi to join. Normally Sushi's my least favorite partner, but she is super useful, particularly for this section, due to her water abilities. I make sure to go straight to the upgrade block in this section and upgrade her, teaching her water block, which increases Mario's defense. We save the Yoshi children, and Chief Yoshi rewards us by doing this. We clear some enemies out and meet with the Ravens and gain the ability to Ultra rank our partners. Right into the volcano, and the first Ultra rank I give is to Sushi, so she can learn Tidal Wave, which will be perfect for this entire area and especially the boss. But before we get to the boss, we need to grab the Ultra Hammer and the other power-up nearby, after we choose to upgrade our little nuke to make him even more of a menace. Now we proceed to the next boss, Lava Piranha. Now this is a two-phase fight, and the first one's going to be a little harder than the second. So we start with Sushi. We take out the two lava buds because in the first phase they do not revive, and I utilize Sushi's water block to turn Lava Piranha's damage into nearly nothing. I combine water block with using refresh to put me in a state to take on his next form, and the rest of the first phase is the same. Water block, belly flop until he goes down. Then the next phase starts, which is just an absolute joke, since now he has a water weakness, which will stun him for a number of turns if I hit him with water. So I just hit everyone with Tidal Wave, and while they're down, Sushi will splash and bash until...
Holy shit, dude! I knew that was gonna be the easiest fight.
First try, baby! This was easily the smoothest fight the whole run. And with that, we release the 5th Star Spirit, which grants us Smooch, which is a 20 HP restoring move. Finally, a better heal than Refresh. Peach does a quiz, and we head back to Toad Town, but of course, upon arrival, Junior Trooper shows up and challenges to yet another fight. But he's weakened from swimming, so we go ahead and shoot him, which wins us the battle. Feeling cocky, I go back to the toy box and attempt to take out Anti-Guy. I am unable to take down Anti-Guy. So I grab the upgrade block that Sushi can now access and give the upgrade to Bombette, giving her an honorary nuke status. And I'm finally able to go back to the Dark Koopas and attempt to kill them. Get a lot luckier this time around, not getting dazed most of the time in the first fight, and it's here I realize I can try to use an ability most players never use. I use Spook to chase off half of the Koopas, and as soon as the Dizzy runs out from them, I scare the rest of them off. It only took like 6 turns. After clearing out the rest, I open the shortcut to Lady Bo's mansion, which gives us access to more life shrooms. Then we get another upgrade block, this time using it on Paracarry to give him the most reliable and FP cheap screen clearing move we now have, Air Raid. Then I just upgrade Watt since there's one right across the way and I'm not sure who needs it the most right now. Then we fight the Big Blooper, which I opt to use Paracarry for, to shoot him, and then Air Raid when he makes children. I horribly miscalculate his health pool and use up 2 life shrooms here, but I still got the dub. And I finally upgrade my BP so I can see health values again. Yay! We stock up on more life shrooms and head into Flower Fields, starting Chapter 6. This is easily my least favorite chapter. It's just a lot of backtracking and narrow areas, which just you end up in a lot of battles because of. not to mention Huff and Puff. We start off by clearing out the moles, which doesn't give too much trouble, just runs a high cost of FP to finish them all off. From here, it's just average battles, which aren't too hateful. I grab the upgrade here, and I give it to Lady Bo since I just have no one else to give it to. A couple of gunshots and some back and forth gets us to the most important partner in the entire game. It's lackluster. We fight lackluster. He joins the party, and I never use him except the one time. I get the other block and give it to Lackluster for his Cloud 9 ability, which is actually a pretty nice ability. It gives us the chance to have attacks outright miss us. We fight the guys outside the Cloud Machine, and Paracarry shoots everybody. Now we have everything to be able to access the boss of Chapter 6, the Absolute Menace, Huff and Puff. This battle is just the definition of tedium. Huff and Puff is a big old cloud man, and every time you hit him, he has little Huff and Puffs come out, which he can reabsorb to recover his health back. So you have to damage him and get rid of the little guys before he's able to recover. And he can hit really hard when he wants to. Anything that required me to A-press automatically did the minimum amount of damage because I was good at push button. I get tired quickly of Huff and Puff staying at 40 health no matter what I throw at him, so if he's gonna cheat, I decide I'm going to as well. And it only took one life shroom. Beating the king of cheaters, we gain the 6-star spirit, whose ability I forgot because I don't think I've ever used it. And with that, we close chapter 6. Cammy Koopa is excited for doing so well. And then we get to finish clearing up a lot of side quests. First, we're going to the sewers, we get the Ultra Boots. Why did I get the Ultra Boots? I don't know, I got them though. We also go and refight Anti-Guy. In my first new attempt, I use Lackluster's Cloud 9 to hopefully avoid damage while charging my tactical nuke. It wasn't too bad this time around, and I take this ego boost and go fight Kent C. Koopa, where one of my chatters lets me in on a little secret for this fight. Kent here is very susceptible to sleep, so for what seems like the first time in my Paper Mario 64 playing history, I use Lullaby. And we beat him easily. With all the distractions out of the way, I upgrade Cooper and head into Chapter 7. First things first, I hit the shop here and get more life shrooms. After some very interesting dialogue, we run into Junior Trooper, we run into a ghost, and then we head on to the next dungeon. Here we nab the final upgrade for ceramics, putting all of our partners at ultra rank. I get frozen in a random fight over a badge that I can't use, and I waste a life shroom in the process. There isn't much of note that happens in the Ice Palace. I take out all the enemies with ease, and whenever I fight a Duplighost, I use Bombette, so they waste their transformation just to get exploded. We get to the Ice King, and I have been pretty scared of going into this fight the whole run. I start my turn using Air Raid to wipe out his summons from the field, and I do my best to keep them out of the fight for good. And I actually do a really good job blocking his ice attack and not getting frozen. Once we get into his Shadow Clone phase, I have exhausted my FP. So Chad and I just start guessing which one to hit since there really isn't a tell for which one's the real Ice King. I guess which one and I refresh every once in a while, and this bastard heals for 20 HP twice. Honestly, I've only ever seen him heal once, because I can usually kill him before he does it twice. This whole fight, we just barely hang on with 0 FP all of the time, and almost no health, but then chat saves us.
Who do I hit? Chat, put a poll up. Put a poll up. I think it's the middle. I think it's the middle. Middle? Middle? Oh my god, I think it's the middle too. Alright guys. We're putting it all in. We're going all for the middle. We can do this. Yes! Let's fucking go!
And it only costs 2 life shrooms. With chat's help, we clear Chapter 7 on our first try and gain the final Star Spirit. From here on, fights will only become that much harder. I head back to the shop nearby and load up on some more life shrooms, and we head off to Star Haven to head to the final venture of the game. We take the Star Cruiser up to Bowser's Castle for the final chapter, Chapter 8.
See, shooter! King returns? King returns! King returns! And what do you want? However, I hope you have done dreams and reality. I also. But my Lapis Helm, the white has been be banished. Yes, yes, yes. I want to see a princess. I want to see a princess. I want to see a princess. Want to eat a cake shake. Want to eat a cake shake. Want to eat tuna and tuna cake shake. But my death never rains in rice fields. King. What? Oh, star shots. Fill my question well, thanks. I eat according to the food pyramid. I feel so good. Rain dance cake summons Jesus Christ.
I skip a section of the game here that I hate and that doesn't work on my emulator due to the same issues I had in the Lantern Ghost fight, so sue me if you really wanted to see the underground section of Bowser's Castle. But we get into a few fights. We get to a section where we have to fight some cannons. Instead of doing that, I hit a bullet bill right in front of them, kill the bullet bill, and then I use the iframes to just skip every cannon battle. The next room is the Bowser Door quiz. We purposely fail the quiz so we can fight the 3 anti-guys to see if we can do it. I easily get wrecked by the sheer power of these guys. So here's where I attempt to dizzy them with Cooper, this being his only useful feat in the game, but it doesn't matter, because I still die, and I find out that Watt can do the same thing, just better than Cooper. See, Cooper's dizzy will get me 2 extra turns if it works, but Watt gives me 3 whole turns by paralyzing them. With a combo of paralysis, refresh, and attacking all of them at once, I still fucking die, even with a ton of life shrooms. So I change up and decide to paralyze them and then focus on one at a time instead of all at once. So I pull out the nuke and I take one down. I get really lucky paralyzing all of the anti-guys just about every turn, manage to nuke all of them, and use only 2 life shrooms in the process. I avoid most battles in the future, but I opt for a few battles just to gain another level up, and I accidentally first strike a few enemies, causing a couple of resets. We defeat the Duplighost easily and we fight Junior and finally, we stand on the precipice of victory. The only thing left between us and victory is 2 Bowser fights. Going to the library, I grab the life shroom hidden here just in case, and I head to the first fight. This fight was a lot tougher than I expected. My idea here was to use Goombario to just ruin Bowser's day, but him using the Star Rod for invincibility kept wasting my turns, because when I used Star Beam, I would skip the partner's turn, and then he started using the Star Wave, which hits my partner. It's super hard to dodge, and it auto-removes Goombario's charges, even if you manage to do the dodge. So unfortunately, our little nuke won't work well here, and I have to deal with my greatest weakness, blocking for my partners. Even though the Star Wave was canceling Goombario's charge, I still attempted to use it, and plan when he would use the Star Wave and hit him right before he used it. As the fight went on and I did it multiple times, I got better at the dodge, but not good enough to consistently block it. On the last hit, I managed to block the Star Wave and defeat him, but I lost a lot of life shrooms in the process, 3 to be exact, and I'm not feeling good about losing that many. Now I only have 3 more left for the final fight, but I press on to that final battle. Heading into the final battle, I'm aware that Bowser has some high defense, so I opt to use Watt right away, knowing the first phase is just free damage. So I land 10 damage on him, and then when the phase where we learn Peach Beam happens, we restore our health and everything, and Bowser still stays at 89. My first strategy was just smack Watt into him and use life shrooms, but the mixture of Bowser's Star Wave attack knocking down my partner and his sheer strength caused him to just murder me over and over and over. Eventually I realized that this was just an inevitable end, so I attempt a new strategy. I practice blocking the Star Wave dodge for the partner, and I use a mix of Watt's attack and Lackluster's Cloud9 to improve the chance of a miss. After nearly an hour of throwing myself at Bowser, I was getting nowhere. I was barely even getting him to half health. I was much better at the dodges for the Star Wave, but I still just didn't have nearly enough health to win. Near the end, I was always about 5 to 6 turns away from finishing him off, even with perfect blocks and a few close calls / Cloud9 misses. So I needed to do one of 3 things. Either I keep attempting and hope I get that perfect RNG to actually win, I backtrack to load up on more life shrooms, or I start attacking on the same turn I use Star Beam. I decide to leave the battle, I change my badges. I remove Peekaboo and I equip Defense Up, Physical Down, which drops my offense for Mario but raises my defense by 1, and since Mario's not attacking, it doesn't really hurt me. And I begin attacking on the same turn I use Peach Beam instead of skipping the partner's turn, and here's how that final battle turned out.
God, he does fire so much, the water block might actually just be a really good idea. I get hit with something that's a 7, that'll put me right at 5, which will put me in danger, which will give me the chance for a lucky miss. And he does that. Nah, it's fine. Damn. Oh my god.
Clear!
With a perfect set of dodging every star wave, attacking after Peach Beam, well-calculated blocks, the use of Smooch, and one lucky miss, we finally defeat God King Browser. With 5 more health remaining, and never using Mario to do an attack, we finally beat Paper Mario 64. So the question is, can we beat Paper Mario without using Mario? The short answer is no, since he has to be used in the beginning, but will it make the rest of the game more fun and challenging? The answer to that is yeah. Well, we definitely had our ups and downs this run. We were able to do it. I'd like to say we had a lot of fun getting there. Now with my chat, we watch the credits roll and another challenge complete. And I can't forget you, dear viewer. Thanks for watching my video all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed the journey as well, and I wish the Star Haven that next time you'll be in chat with me at twitch.tv/DillonWithABlankie to cheer me on as I play my next game. I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone, and I can't wait to see you next time. And as the credits roll, I'd like to do my own credits and thank my chatters and subscribers who push me to do more every day. A quick thank you to my subscribers, If It's Not Fun, T Saturn T, The Cadman, Atakash, Jorky6, Cool_Clark, Swolowkey, Nye_Rago, Heroes_Tempest, Andrew Colors, Scorched11, A New Artist, Lil Cat Beans, and Underwater Firecracker. Thank you to my mods Jorky6 and Georgia York Morgan, and also a thank you to some of the most active chatters. A New Artist, Georgia York Morgan, Jorky6, If It's Not Fun, Fang652, The One Byron, and Birdodactyl. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate every one of you. Until next time, everyone. Good night.